Welcome to another episode of Travis Talks. Normally I keep these things limited to League of Legends, but this week we're going a little bit broader to talk about a company that, well, they're at the core of so much of the esports industry, Twitch. Now, last week you may have noticed that our senior news editor, Zareen T, wrote up an article about a new deal that's been struck between TSM and Cloud9 with Twitch, being the exclusive seller for a lot of their content, or actually, I guess, for the teams in general. But besides that, they also renewed their exclusive streaming deal with Twitch, or so it seems. Now, whenever anything like this pops up, there's always a lot of conversations around the industry, and actually more within the community even, about why Twitch is able to remain so dominant. And a lot of people point out that there's always been a competitor to Twitch that seems pretty relevant. I mean, even going back to the days of Own3D TV, which they kind of bankrupted themselves, I guess. But then you had Azubu, who put a great deal of time trying to make a really good product. They had Rewind, I guess they still exist actually, Rewind technology, higher resolutions, etc. And then now, about a year and a half ago, you have YouTube Gaming, which came up, and they had made their announcement, I think, June of last year. And they haven't seemed to really catch a strong hold within esports outside of broadcasting, the LCS. And now Facebook Live seems to be making that attempt, right? But throughout all of this time, Twitch has remained the dominant force. Like, they're just synonymous with esports now. That's where you go to watch esports for the most part. And so it, of course, raises the question of why. And so many people always wonder about this. And it's something I think a lot of the people in the industry know, and I think it's important to really communicate out so people have a pretty good understanding, which is that content is king. I know it's kind of a cliche phrase, but it is absolutely true. And so what a lot of people don't know is sort of the business strategy that Twitch has seemed to employ over the years very aggressively to maintain this dominance. And that strategy is actually just signing a ton of exclusive deals and making sure that they're pretty much broadcasting everything, even whenever it's not an exclusive deal. So for those that don't know, Twitch actually signs oftentimes multi-year agreements with teams and organizations and streamers to keep them on Twitch. And a lot of people also do not know that the way a lot of sponsors of esports teams find value in the sponsorship are through the sheer amount of impressions that an organization or a company can offer the sponsor. So it's not actually so much the logo that you're seeing on a jersey whenever a player is competing at the LCS or on stage at a CSGO tournament or something along those lines. Is very often, for at least some sponsors, quite a few, the fact that they can get their logos or promo codes or these kind of ads put into streams of the team, of the streamers, of that organization. Let's say you're Team Liquid, and you decide that you are unhappy with the state of your situation on Twitch, or you want to try a different product. You think that YouTube is a better product and might offer a better experience for your fans, and you decide to go to YouTube. Well, a little bit of the problem is that, let's say, your streamers are getting 10,000 concurrents on average, and then you go to YouTube, and there's no real audience there because there's no real esports content there, and so you're there alone by yourself. Now suddenly your streamers might be getting less than 1,000 views. And now your sponsors are unhappy with you because you're not delivering the impressions that they expect. And so it's really hard for any one team or entity or group to switch platforms, even if they're offering perhaps a better experience on the product front. And so everybody kind of just stays with Twitch. And Twitch has been really smart about this. YouTube and Azubu have both tried to offer better product experiences by giving people higher resolutions or more tools or whatever. And a lot of people talk about enjoying the LCS on YouTube over Twitch whenever they're streamed on both. And I think actually over time, I have to look at the numbers, but the YouTube viewership for the LCS in particular has grown because people have found it to be a better experience. And yet Twitch just remains dominant. It's because, I guess I don't know the economics or the financials behind the scenes, but one could make the argument that it's very obvious that Twitch is dedicating resources towards securing these exclusive partnerships over investing into building a better product. And that's what is really significant about the TSM and Cloud9 situation, because I think for a while there were some rumors behind the scenes that were never really corroborated enough that you could really report on them, that some of the teams, possibly TSM, Cloud9, were looking at other platforms, right? And you can't fault anybody for looking at different opportunities and deals. But the fact that they have re-signed with Twitch in my mind, just indicates that Twitch's strategy is working, and they're going to continue to succeed and be the dominant force in esports for years to come. So, you might be a fan of some of these other platforms, but until they can really secure, a lot of this content, it's not going to happen. And I don't think that's ever going to happen until you can have, like a pretty mass exodus from Twitch to another place, so that you can ensure that the community is there for everyone to support and thrive. So that's my take on why Twitch has been able to remain #1 in esports for so long. Hope you enjoyed the talk. Make sure to catch all the rest of our esports coverage here on Yahoo Esports.